Welcome back. Right, so we are off to a flying start. Had our first episode back in a long time, and it was pretty basic, guys. Come on, I mean, I do understand that the footage that I have been releasing is sort of just me filming it. A lot of the guys that I'm sort of filming with aren't really into YouTube, and to be honest, this is my first experience with YouTube as well. I just thought it'd be fun. Anyway, I acknowledge, the big YouTubers out there and the amazing videos that they can put together with budgets and with actual cameramen and and with huge knowledge too. A lot of these guys are great mechanics and tuners and things like that. So go for it, man. You guys are definitely well aligned to making awesome content. But as I said a long time ago, this was more about me just documenting what I'm doing for future reference. If I ever did want to sell or something like that, I could just sort of point them to the channel and they can see everything's done to a pretty good standard. So yeah, we did the catch can. It went in pretty well. And right now we're about to jump into the next episode, and that's just the finalization of the motor. So everything's pretty much in now. Our injectors are in, fuel rails are in, manifolds all done, the EFI Sniper Carby's in, the catch can's all plumbed in, all the fuel lines I'm pretty sure are all done. And so yeah, we're pretty much getting ready to start the car for the first time. And I'm on a bit of a deadline actually, because it's getting, in this particular time frame, it's getting close to the end of the year, and Laz and Maddie from Auto Breeze have actually moving. They have moved next door. Big move. It's awesome. The factory that they've moved into is like 3 times the size, with a huge mezzanine, and it's given Laz so much more capabilities as well. He's got multiple hoists set up now and an engine room, and it's just been super cool. So yeah, let's get this car quickly buttoned up and off to the auto elec, because it needs to get the hell out of Laz's factory so he can move. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump in and yeah, see what you think.
Probably the one in front of it. Probably the other one you got off loose. Yeah, that one. Swap them around, see if it reaches.
So Lloyd and, I can't remember his name either. I'm pretty sure it was Clint, but sorry if I got it wrong, buddy. Just installing the Dizzy leads. I'm out back working with a mate Luke on the stereo system at the moment. We just stuck with the original distributor for the time being. I'd like to change to some ice ignition or something in the future, but it does the job for the right application at the moment. It seems to be, it does do its job. So yeah, just the boys are plugging all those in, and then just going to move on to the next step, which is fluids. Let's put some fluids in there and get it started. It's got no fuel, no. They just have to start your bastard.
No, that's all right. Oh, do you have the cutters here too?
Yeah, cut it.
Yeah, cut it top. Yeah.
But all on that shelf behind Joe, because that's probably a good brand.
I need keys as well. I've got consent keys.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
In my U and now I'm going to pay your price.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's easy. So next time we go, we'll have it.
Easy, thank you. Yeah, spray
That's
that.
going to start with no fuel. You're just going to spray shit in
Yeah,
the
I'm just
car.
going to spray shit down it.
So you only get like a what?
It'll only just be like it'll be a grumble. Yeah, it'll just be a grumble, it won't be a fucking... Yeah,
So once Lloyd's finished putting some fluids in and just checking that everything's tightened up, it's time to give the car a start. Like this moment, I mean, building up to this moment right now has taken months and months and months, and so much time and effort goes into, you know, this one poignant moment of the car's history, and you start to wonder, is it going to turn over? Is everything set correctly? And guess we'll find out. Loki, you ready? Alright. Ignition on. Start it.
Yep.
What a moment. That was awesome. That was so cool. So look, quick, let's get it all ready. It's got to go straight to the auto elec. The motor starts. Everything's pretty much done. He just needs to get everything, all the wiring looms done. So basically front and body wire loom, and get all the electrics to work, make everything work, and then get it back to me so we can start on tuning it. And let's crack on. He's back. Good Melbourne fucking winter's day for it, boys. She's back. And apparently it's wired up. So let's crack on with some shenanigans and some tuning. So she's all looking pretty good. Pretty happy with how everything's all turned out and how it's all looking. So next we are off to a mate of mine, Boonies, just do a little bit of tuning and get ready for dyno.
Ether. Alright, give that a go.
Yes, so at Bernie's, a mate of Lloyd's, a guy named Elton, who is a tuner. He opted he's gonna help me try and get this thing on the dyno. So yeah, we're just basically getting all the bass settings right and getting the thing to idle and to work, all the air to fuel ratios, so on and so forth. We should be ready for dyno pretty soon, hopefully. Such an awesome sound just to hear it idle for the first time. I can't believe it. It's amazing.
All right.
So I've got the car on the trailer, got it over to Elton's shop, and now the lads are just working on timing, making sure everything's running, and just working on that tune and just getting it ready step by step. How good does the IC7 look? I haven't done an episode of that yet, so that'll be the next one. I'll give you guys a full rundown on how that went. People, down in Hallam, today's the day, mate. So, yeah, during this episode, we are going to finally dyno tune the VN. We're just getting some precautionary stuff out of the road, I suppose, at the moment. Elton's in the car at the moment, just tuning, just getting all the injector loads right and stuff before we head on down to the dyno. As you can see, the old girl's right here. People, been waiting for today for a long time, and you know, it's been a bit of an interesting one to try and get ready for the dyno tune, because I suppose where we're doing it at Revline, we've just been getting bump back, so we're about a week behind for dyno at the moment, but I think today's the day. All going well. All going well, I should maybe drive this thing home tonight. So yeah, I'll jump back on in a second when we're getting the car over to the dyno, getting it all mounted up, getting it on. So we'll jump on soon and see how it's looking. Having some trouble, as probably a lot of you have dealt with on dyno days when building your motors, is that we're trying to get it ready to get on the dyno, and before we do that, there's just a bunch of issues in regards to like, and I only just learned this myself, so excuse me if I get it wrong, but basically we're setting like the ignition sequence or the spark timing to work for the correct amount of injectors we've got. So obviously telling the computer or the ECU that, you know, X amount piston needs 0.46 milliseconds for signal timing. So basically just trying to get all those parameters correct. It's starting to sound a bit better. The only other issue is just trying to get a lot of the pistons. Some of the heat temperatures are quite different in some of the cylinders, so we're just trying to go through there and correct. Still a bit of fault correcting realistically, so we can get onto the dyno and use as little time as possible. But yeah, I'll keep chucking updates as we go. And as you can hear, it's sounding pretty meaty, but we just need to get that happening right. Elton's just doing his magic right now. So it didn't end up working. We didn't get it tuned in time. So yeah, I ran out of dyno slots, and basically now it's time to try and get this thing home. But you can see pretty soon that it didn't really work out to plan, actually. It's not no fuel pump. Rightio people, this is it, first drive. Sounding pretty unhealthy. Do you hear that noise? Misfiring hard, isn't it? running so rich it just kept fouling the plugs.
I'll try take it up.
And this is where things pretty much come to an abrupt halt.
Whoa. That wasn't me. That wasn't me stopping, that train's just locked up. That was foot on, off, that was foot off the brake in first, and it just locked up the rear wheels. That's in reverse. That's in reverse. Loading the engine, trans is just fucking blown up.
So yeah, we're both pretty devastated at this period of time right now because we just didn't know what it was. But it actually wasn't as bad as what we thought. Lloyd thought it was a tranny that had blown. And I was thinking, oh my God, I spoke to the guy that sold me the tranny. He swore it was completely rebuilt. I went home. Lloyd went home. And he came back the next day, and it turned out that he's probably going to hate me saying this, but they didn't put oil in the diff after it had been rebuilt, and it had been sitting there that whole time. And he was out the day before, or that evening before this road tuning, and getting it ready for me to be able to drive home. And in that process, he just cooked the diff, and then when I got in to drive it home, the diff just completely seized up. But you know what? To his credit, I think it took like 2 days, and then we had the diff back together again, and it was ready to try another attempt to get it home. Which in the end, I didn't even drive it home. I got it on a trailer, I brought it back on the trailer, and delivered it back, and waited until I could get back for some more tuning. And it's these parts of car builds that you just can't predict, and it's just devastating, but you just got to move on. You've got to keep pushing forward. There's always going to be hurdles and shitty things that happen like this, but it just is what it is. So I quickly stopped by to show Maddie and Laz before I took it home, of course. At this stage, the Veric mufflers are still closed. We haven't even opened the. Let's take her home.
Luna. Luna.
thanks for watching. That was a pretty cool episode. You know, I was waiting for that for so long, just to get that motor started, to hear it, and to get it to Booney's. You know, Booney was awesome. He helped me out when Laz was in that intermission between next door and moving his factory next door. I needed somewhere to store the car, and a good mate of mine, Booney, and Simo, they let me use their joint, the shed, for a little bit there. And we got some tuning done, which was good. Got it to Elton's. You know, couldn't get that dyno time. It was such a nightmare. And we ended up dynoing it somewhere else completely. But, you know, it just was it was. He got it road tuned, and then we went to take off and blew the diff up, which was just horrible. But yeah, as I said before, this stuff happens. So yeah, that was pretty cool to get the car home, get it tuned, and actually from then on, I can start driving it to ever I need things done, rather than having to tow it and all that. So it's pretty exciting. It sounds amazing. So coming up, I'm going to go back in time a little bit again, and I'm just going to show you the IC7 dash install, and also the speaker pods that I put on the door trims. And yeah, that's what's coming up next, guys. So stay tuned, keep watching. Thanks very much.